There are other creators out there who make fantastic videos, but is that a 0 or a 4? I don't have my reading glasses on. Is that a 4? Okay, so we've got people jumping on. Hi, I'm Jenna-veev. I am a late diagnosed autistic. I was diagnosed at age 45, and that's been almost 10 years ago. I'll be 54 in August. And it's your birthday today, Zaldin. I'm don't have my reading glasses on, so Zayden. That's a cool name. Happy birthday. Hi. Hello, everybody. Oh, I love when you guys do this. Come on, jump on. Everybody come on in. Yeah, hi, everybody. All right, I'll put my reading glasses on and say hi to you guys. Um, Hi. Hello. It's so nice to see everybody. Hi. Okay, let's see who's in here. I'm getting confused because I've got my camera, which is you, and then I've got it on my monitor, which is down here, and I've got the chat coming through in both places. So, Zayden, TK, Luke, Vanessa, Xavier, Freddie, Zayden, Isabella, and Vanessa again. Thank you so much. Oh, you like my hair? Thanks. You know what? I try to do some of those like curly cute things that girls do, because a lot of the times I just don't do anything with my hair. You subbed. Thank you. I really appreciate you guys. TK Ethan 1v1. Thank you all for being here. My favorite colors. See. So I've made videos for, hey, Tropical. I've made videos for others on the spectrum who may not realize these things. That's correct. Who may not realize these things about being on the spectrum, and especially being late diagnosed. If you're like me, you went through your life, like a whole lifetime practically, not knowing these things. And when you don't know something, then you might not even realize you're having to deal with it, you know? We don't care. Oh, look at you. You can go. We don't need you here if you're going to be like that. We really don't. Tropic, how are you, darling? Nice to see you here. Thank you. I appreciate you guys telling TK to put a lid on it. Um, so a lot of the times you don't realize. So I'm a late diagnosed autistic female, and I'm talking about some of the challenges that I faced that I didn't really even know I was facing. I got a cough. Hold on, let me take the mic off. Sorry. That will help others who are younger, I hope, or even late diagnosed, kind of like get a kind of cut the learning curve down a little bit, because it's taken me years and I'm still learning about the things that have impacted me. And so I'm making videos about that stuff that you guys can find on my channel in more of like the long form videos, some of the shorts. And like I made a thing about going to the dentist and what happens if you're on the autistic spectrum and you, like a lot of us, kind of ignore things or don't recognize things or just let it go until it's just too long. You've let it go too long. And so I made a video about that, about my trip to the dentist and what I did to help me get through it, right? And not bail. And it wasn't fun, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, because of the fact that technology is a lot different. And my trauma comes from back in the day when technology sucked. And, oh, TK, what you doing, darling? No, TK's doing okay. TK's doing all right now. CH1B. Let me look back. Yeah, no, TK's doing okay now. So I will if I need to. TK, are you all right? Okay. TK's okay. All right. So the other video that I just released, I did release a highlight reel, but I also released the whole video last night on YouTube, and it'll be up there for a little while. And so it's about how people on the autistic spectrum are easy prey for predators. And that's not a good thing, right? Especially if you don't know that you're on the spectrum or you don't have a support group around you um, to help you discern between who's a nice person and who's pretending to be a nice person, right? So I'm trying to read. You guys, literally, when you turn like 45 or something like that, like suddenly your eyesight one day will just go. There's got to be something to it. There's no way that's natural. There's just no way that's natural. And I've heard of people reversing their need for reading glasses, but and I used to do eye exercises all the time. Like you hold your finger out in front of you and you focus on your eye and then the distance behind it, and then your eye distance, or your finger, sorry, finger, distance, finger, distance. Can you see my eyes moving? It's weird, right? And it strengthens your eyes. And I did that for years, and still I woke up one morning and couldn't seem to get like my eyes clear, and it literally just never came back. And I've gotten used to it now because I used to have like eagle eye, better than 20/20 vision. And so it really bothered me for a couple of years that I couldn't see as clearly as I used to. And then I realized, you know what? I've seen it all. Even if it's a little bit blurry, I know what it looks like. Okay, so when I was 45, I just had a conversation with a woman, and she was an interesting gal, but I really understood her and we got along. And one day she told me she was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. I'm like, what's that? And she says, well, it's like autism, but higher functioning. And I was like, that's interesting. And I went home and I looked it up, and it was basically like a kick in the fucking throat. I know you guys are probably young, so it's basically like a kick in the flippin' throat. And, so it was short because I lived in a very small mountain town. I could get an appointment with a psychologist really quickly. And so we went through the assessment process, and I didn't know what to expect because I didn't know anything about it. I never was like, "Oh, maybe I'm autistic, I don't know." I just went on in and had an assessment, and the assessment process, it's like digs down into your childhood. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, someone does need to be blocked. All right. E, you're on timeout. I don't know what that was all about, but you're on timeout, homie. Okay. So I went for the assessment, and they want to know all about your childhood. And so you have to consult with your parents because it's a lot of stuff that you really wouldn't know about yourself. And it was emotional. It was really emotional because things start coming to light. And you're like, wait a minute, all these things that I thought were just me is like I'm on the spectrum, and all of these struggles I had were things that if I would have known about, I could have had support with. And all these things that I wasn't good at, I'm not even supposed to be good at. But knowing it doesn't make it easier. Knowing you're on the spectrum doesn't suddenly make your life easier. People on the spectrum, if they are considered low support needs like me, because we appear as if we could just do everything everybody else does, so it's very deceiving. The fact of the matter is, I'm going to say most people on the spectrum, even if they're low support needs, have a very hard time being financially independent. 95% of autistics don't marry. And then if they do, they usually divorce right away. So you're talking about, and this is why it's important to watch my video called Autistic versus Predator, because then you'll understand why navigating relationships can be so hard for us. I think now if I was to even entertain getting in a relationship, which I can't even think about doing that right now, it would have to be with a youngest child, sibling, not the oldest, because oldest ones tend to be very narcissistic and abusive to their younger siblings. And then they get in relationships and they do the same thing. Now, not all the ones I've encountered. So, my older sister, and then I was in relationships that sort of subconsciously sort of recreated that environment because I knew it. I was familiar with it. So I felt like, oh, this is sad. It feels like I've known you forever. Yeah, because you act like my older sister. Older sibling syndrome or something like that. So I don't think I would ever date another older sibling. I would only date someone in my own age group because I've dated all across different age groups. And it's just easier with someone. Hello, everybody. I appreciate you for being here. Um, it's just easier with someone your own age because, I mean, unless you have interests that are very much out of your age group, but the TV shows, movies, music, clothing, all that stuff, when you talk about like a song from when you were growing up or whatever, if you're with someone in your own cohort, they totally get it, right? But if you're with someone who's older or younger than you, you're not like, they're going to play music and you'd be like, ew. And you're going to play music and they're going to be like, ew, maybe. Okay. So, and just, it's just easier to get along with someone in your own age group, I think, because you have so much in common. Also, um, I think I would only date someone who's a neurodivergent. And I don't think now that I've been a little more exposed to ADHD, I don't think that's my jam. I think I would have to date someone who's also on the spectrum with similar support needs as myself. And I could be idealizing things, but it's not like I have any plans to get into a relationship because all the trauma. Hi, Nissy from Sweden. Thank you so much. I'm sure you're beautiful too. If you guys have channels, let me know you have channels. I'll come subscribe to your channels. I'm actually in the United States in the northwest part of the US. Looking back, um, yeah, all the stuff that we've got to remember. It's really, really challenging. So now I'm learning and watching other creators. Okay, cool. I'll come check it out. What kind of content is on your channel, Rose? Didn't I already subscribe to you? Okay, cool. I'll come look at your channels. Totally. As a matter of fact, sometimes I can't replay the live chat afterwards. So do me a favor and jump into the comment section of this video and just say you have a channel. So Nissy, do I like Donald Trump? Actually, I followed Donald Trump and many other highly successful people for many, many decades, like Robert Kiyosaki and God, Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I've studied all kinds of people like this. So I knew Donald Trump, and then he had his show called The Apprentice, which I loved. Season 2 is magical. Um, and so then I knew all about Donald Trump before he started running in his first election. And I saw that he created a character, or they created a character for him. I knew he was doing this because everything I've ever seen, he's never behaved like he did, like he did and like he does, in in rallies and stuff like that. So then after he won, his first interview was with Leslie Stahl. And if you watch that interview, she's like, you're so different in, when you're not in a rally, you're so different. And I knew that too. He's a very different person. And he said this, he said, I know how to motivate people. So, you know, you can take that any way you want to. As a human being, I actually think he's on the spectrum. I think he's Asperger's or something like that, right? And he's got a lot of support around him and he knows how to get the job done. And isn't that what we want in a president? We want someone who can get the job done, run this like a business, and get us back in the black, if you know what that means. So, do I like him as a person? I don't know. Everyone I've seen talk about him who knows him close and personal says he's a wonderful human being and not at all like he is portrayed in the media and in public. So, I just go with that. I don't like when people refer to him, he's like our Jesus. Okay, y'all, don't say that. That's ridiculous. Do I think there's a possibility that he's part of the theater that's being rolled out for us? Absolutely, that's a possibility. He went to an Ivy League just like the rest of them. And so we'll see. We'll just have to see what happens because I actually think I have a story, a prediction, and I'll tell you guys in a second. Oh, cool. Awesome. You're an editor, a video editor? I'll have to come and check that out. All you guys that have channels, put your channel link even down in my comments. Totally cool with me if you do that. I'm all about supporting creators, and I appreciate you coming on and supporting me because, my channel is just brand new. And some creators that I've seen who've been around a little bit longer are, um, they don't like this kind of content where I'm sitting here, I don't have studio lighting or a studio microphone, and I'm talking a little more softly. But guess what? That's what I like to watch. I don't want to see a brightly lit studio set and someone talking loudly into the microphone like a blah, 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 blah. Chill out. And so I was on another creator's live and I never asked him to come on my channel and check it out ever. I never asked him to do that, but he did. And then he went on a rant about my style of video. I was like, I know he's being, just trying to be funny, but he's turning I'd never asked or promoted my channel on his live chats, but now he's basically telling people not to come to my channel because of how I do my lives and my channel. I mean, and he didn't see my long form videos that are produced better. I'm a new creator. I have a professional setup, but if I use my professional setup, it's so much setup. It's all these buttons and bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bong, and it takes forever just to get to the video. So with this, I can just turn it on, pick up my thingamajiggy right here, and come on and talk to you guys, right? That's authentic, and that's what I want. Oh, okay, cool. You're very, very close. Well, you guys go over and check out Rose's channel. I do too. I really appreciate that, Isabella. Thank you so much. And yeah, so I don't know. I don't think I'll necessarily unsubscribe from his channel, but I don't think I'm going to go over there very much anymore because it's just not my jam. I'm all about supporting other people. And if I come to your channel and I see that you're brand new and there are some things like I have a lot to learn, there's a lot I know that I haven't implemented just yet. I'm getting there. Like I said, I actually have a background in video production and on camera and all of that stuff. But if I worry about coming across so professional, I just don't do it. Thanks, Rose. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Oh, do you know who I'm talking about? Yeah. Great content. But when there's a new creator on, do you really expect them to just come on the scene all polished like that? Listen, I did. I have actually a digital video course that I made with the microphone and the lighting and da 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 da. And it just isn't out there yet because I still have some editing to do on it. And this is how I get things done. So, more power to him. And he's coaching some other creators. More power to you all. But just remember, that's not for everybody. Oh, no, you know who I'm talking about. Okay, well, I love his lives. I even love the live where he was going off on some like heavy metal and everybody's throwing out tunes and he's like singing them and stuff. It was hilarious. But I would just I just try to support creators, you know. So he talked about my channel and how I'm like this and then he said, if you really want a channel here, go to this other channel. She does great content. And it's like, you know what? I didn't ask you to talk about my channel. I never invited you or promoted it or anything. Anyone's welcome on my channel, you know, but don't go talking shit, dude. You know, and I wasn't offended, but it's like, I just wouldn't do that, you know? So, you know who I'm talking about. And I appreciate you being here. And you know what I'm saying. I love hanging out. Great community. Great community. And, but see what it's important for me. There's other creators, for example, who make content. And I've had to realize if there's something about them that rubs me the wrong way, it doesn't mean I don't like them or they're not a good creator or they're not a good person. There's a female that I was watching a lot of, and I finally realized I actually don't like it's not that I don't like her as a person, I don't know her, but I just don't like her content in her videos. And I realized part of it is literally just her production style and her voice. I don't like the sound of her voice. Sorry. Not trying to be a mean person and I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Var is schwierig. Kommer du ifrån? So you mean on your videos or on your lives, Rose, you're not getting as many views? Jag kommer ifrån Eskilstuna. I'm trying. I love languages. It's one of my special interests. And I appreciate you guys for being here. I really do. Oh, okay. Like, wo bist du? Or, uh, wo bist du? How are you? Where are you? I don't know. I actually took German for 2 years in high school. And, it was before I knew I was on the long, long, long before I knew I was on the spectrum. And had I known I was on the spectrum, things would have been so different because I would have understood why I couldn't understand anything that was going on in school. Okay. Yeah. Well, you guys, let's go over to Rose's. Check out her channel. Let's see if we can get her boosted back up there. I do know that on the rare occasions I was able to schedule videos, which I'm just not executive functiony enough to make videos and schedule them usually. When you schedule them for the same time every day or every week, it really helps boost them. So, like, if I was more, um, yeah. So I love studying language. I think Swedish, like, and Icelandic are really cool sounding languages. Right. See, when I've scheduled my videos, they get way, way, way more views. If you have like a time of day, 10 a.m. or like 7 p.m. or something like that seem to be really good, or even like 6:30 p.m. If you can schedule them, like make 4 videos and schedule them at the same time, either every day or every week, or every month or whatever, I think you'll find you get way more views. I did. And I wish I was a schedule-y person. I can schedule things when it comes to like making money and whatever. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I'm not a gatekeeper. I like to help other people, other creators. I don't know everything, but I binge watched creator videos. And so I've got a lot of information on how to do that, especially for people just starting out or that don't have a whole lot of followers. My other channel is called I'm a Dog Too, and it's because I go live with my dogs and I put up dog content. And I changed the name to I'm a Dog Too because I put up a video accidentally there instead of here about me, and it was just like a weird video, one of the, like my shorts done badly videos that I do. I put it up over there instead, and it got a ton of hits. So I'm like, oh shoot, people want to see me as well, I guess. So then I combine myself into that channel. Um, I'm in the Northwestern United States. Yeah. There's a lot of little things. One of the things that I learned to do, I got this from Mr. Beast. Because if you really want to study what's going on and how to enhance your videos, study Mr. Beast. And number one, start where you are. And that's why I do videos like this, because this is me. This is where I'm at, and this is what's easy for me and what gets done. And then my longer form videos, I'm trying to make better all the time. Perfect. But please do go into comments and drop your video information because I can't figure out how to pull up this live chat after the video when I make it, when I re-release it. So Mr. B said, just do one thing every video to try to make your videos better. One thing each video. It could be like better audio, better lighting, better thumbnail, better title, maybe a better script. God, my nose is running. I'm sorry. So every time, just make one thing better, you know? And when I look at my videos to see, I have 3 dogs and a cat. When I look at my videos to see which ones do better, it's the ones where I look prettier. so, so I do my I'm a Dog Too videos in the morning, and I sort of more do a wide shot. I'm not quite ready to talk in the morning, so it's sort of me and my dogs, and I'm just having coffee and sunglasses usually outside. Then I come in and try to gussy myself up just a little bit more and come on here when I'm really ready to talk and chat. And the videos, oh, my stomach is growling. Can you hear that? The videos where I look prettier get a lot more hits. Okay, so here it goes, guys. I'm going to spill the tea. All right. When you want to make a video, just go, instead of like writing your own script from scratch, just go to ChatGPT and tell it as detailed as you can what you want your script to be about, as if you had a personal assistant. Do you already do that? Oh, that's nice. I do my own right now. I'll go check out your stuff though and check it out. Um, you can just go into Gemini or ChatGPT or any large language AI, and you enter in as detailed of a prompt as you can. Be like, write a 10-minute script for a YouTube video about, and then get as detailed as you can. And you can say, include information about blah, 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 blah. Write it from the perspective of blah, 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 blah. You could be like, write it very informative corporate tone, write it in a very friendly casual tone, and it'll write it and you can read it. And then you can go back and say, perfect, accept, or do it again with this. Take this out, leave this in, put this in, and then you can edit it as you want to edit it. I have 3 dogs. I'll turn this around if you'd like to see them. Here we go. So here's Buddy. Hi, buddy. This is Buddy. And then down here, Shadow, Shadow, Shadow. Can you see him? You gonna come up? Good boy. Uh-oh, Buddy's getting down now. Uh-oh, he's facing the wrong way. Shadow, hey, look at me. Hi, boy. That's Shadow. Uh-oh, sorry. Now Buddy went to steal the bone. Just poked myself in the eye. Hi. Aw, Lady Phoenix. So, Lady Phoenix, we were just talking about how much I love to help new creators. Not that I'm some kind of friggin' pro or expert, but I just personally like to help people. And thank you very much. And we were just talking about the different things you can do. For example, like Mr. B says, just try to make your videos better by one thing, like improve one thing for each video. And I was saying, if you want to make, yeah, so Lady Phoenix is a new creator as well. And she's trying to get to 50 so she can do her own lives as well. Um, so you can go to Chat GPT and put in a prompt as detailed as you want to and spit that out. And then you can copy and paste it into your own document, make whatever edits you want to make, and then you can, there's your script. And then you can go to do a Google search for teleprompter, and you can put it in a teleprompter on your computer and record it while you're reading it. You might have to have two different cameras. That's what I do. I use my phone and my computer. And so then while it's teleprompting, you can read it. And then there's another program I was telling Lady Phoenix about called Descript. And so let's say I'm looking at you and I'm reading a script and you can see my eyes going back and forth like this, or I look away a few times or whatever like this. Descript will fix your eye contact. Now, it looks really weird. And now I see that other creators who use it, I know who uses it because it does this weird thing with your eyes. It makes your eyes like this. Um, but it fixes this and makes your eye contact. So if you can sit still and sort of look at the camera, it'll be easier for it to fix your eyes. Actually, one of my videos I put up called Oven Fire, I show how bad it looks on me doing that video. Just, I mean, it's not, it, I didn't mean for it to be this way, but when I put it through Descript, it looked so ridiculous that I just left it on the video because it was funny to me. My shorts are goofy. So, Swedish, hi. Um, and then I use Canva. It's a great program. You can get a free trial on these programs. So Canva is where you can produce movie or videos from beginning to end, and it has all these different templates you can choose. It's very easy to use. Um, so I do use that one, but sometimes I take everything first into iMovie and edit it in there, and then take it into Canva, put more stuff on it in there, and then take it into Descript and put more stuff on it in there. So I'm learning more and more about all of these things. And it can be overwhelming, but just take it one step at a time. Just make each video a little bit better than the last one. Or not. You know what? If you can't, don't stress. Just put your videos out there. The thing that matters most in videos is right here, audio. You don't really need to have great lighting, but if you don't have great audio, people will not listen because it's too hard. You know, people don't need to look at you when they're listening, but they do need to hear you. I guess they could mute it and just watch you, and that's creepy. Aw, Gigi's here, everybody. Say hi to Gail Pet. That's Gigi. So the spectrum, the autistic spectrum. There's many spectrums these days. but I'm talking specifically about the autistic spectrum. Yeah, thumbnails are fun. So Mr. Beast says make your thumbnail first. Come up with your idea for your video. And now he's very much more involved than we are. His are very conceptual. But let's say, for example, when you go and look at my thumbnail for autistic manipulation by antisocial types, I actually did a couple different thumbnails and wanted to do an A/B test, but I haven't done it yet, but I will. I wanted to remake the video first. Yeah, so Gigi is my mama. And I think we both really found out, well, obviously, we both found out I was on the autistic spectrum at the same time. But I think then she slowly came to realize that she is as well. Good times. And it doesn't make life easier. I mean, in a way, it kind of does because after a while, I think I finally started realizing that um, trying to behave as some kind of very functional neurotypical just isn't, it's not reality. I mean, that's total masking. And there's things you can mask and things you can't, you know? So, okay, be good. Um, it, oh gosh, does it make it easier once you know? I mean, I think in some ways you give yourself a little bit of a break, but I still beat myself up constantly because, I mean, I was undiagnosed for 45 years. So I'm hardwired to think that I was raised in the frickin' 70s and 80s and 90s when it was, Murphy Brown. Murphy Brown is a single mom with an actual career raising her kids by herself. And remember when Dan Quayle was like, look, y'all, don't fall for this. This is not good. And we all thought he was stupid. Guess how right he was? He was right. He was 100% right. Sure, there's women that can do it, but guess what? They hire nannies. Like they're not even raising their own kids. And, or they put them in school. I homeschooled my kids. I sacrificed literally everything. Did I? It felt like it. I mean, I didn't go out and get a job. Stop, buddy. Stop, stop, stop. Good boy. Um, there was a there were a couple of periods in my life where I was doing financially well, but they were like godsends. They were things that work the way I work. And one of them was a job I got as an independent contractor, so I could do it when I wanted, how I wanted, and all that stuff. And then when I started the car service. But now when it comes to the car service, I'm completely burned out and we're really slow. So it's not really working. I'm going to turn you guys around for a second. Stay here with Buddy. I'll be right back. Stay. You can chew on your bone now, but stay. Okay, I'm back. Doo-doo. I'm back. Ugh, God, PMDD is horrible. Missy is a grandpa at 51. Oh my gosh, I still have a 14-year-old at home. Yeah, definitely. So, I don't think you were on Lady Phoenix. Um, I encourage anyone with a channel or a channel they'd like to promote, drop it down in the comments and we'll check it out. Just put it in the comments, not in here in the chat. Put it in the video comments because I haven't figured out how to see the live chat uh after the video. Wow, 15 years old. Ooh. Oh my god. Ugh. On another note, so I've got to show you guys. There's a shampoo and conditioner out there called Nioxin, and if you start using it after about 2 months, you'll have all these little brand new chicken feather growths in your hair. It makes you grow. It actually makes you grow new hair, but what it also does, it stops your hair from falling out. So for women, if you've had children, you know that while you're pregnant, you don't lose hair. And then at some point after you have the baby, like all the hair you didn't lose falls out. So you think, you lose a lot of your hair and then it has to grow back in. Well, the Nioxin stops it from falling out. And so I started using it a couple of months ago because I find it on sale at like TJ Maxx and stuff, and I buy it when I see it there. And thank you very much. Uh, and it grows like a bunch of new hair comes in all at the same time. So it looks like I got little chicken feathers. It so cracks me up. I entertain myself. Someone's got to. If you want to know some good shampoo to keep your hair in your head, it's a great one. And using the bonnet I was wearing a bonnet at night, and then I just started braiding my hair because the bonnets made me sweat because it's not actually made of silk. So I just started braiding my hair at night, and Gigi sent me a silk pillowcase for Mother's Day. So, and I have another one here that she swears I took from her, but I've actually had this for like 20 years. And she might have given it to me or sent it to me 20 years ago, but yes, I do. I've got 2 kids, 20 and 14-year-old boys. I don't know, I don't wash it. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I kinda just throw it in the laundry. The new one she sent me, I haven't washed yet. It's got slobber stains on it, so I need to, but, I'm guessing cold water, no drying. I bet you Gigi's gonna tell us pretty soon here. I appreciate you guys being on. I really, really do. I really do. There's another autistic liver that I like. It's Autistic AF. He's great. His name is Mike. He's just a sweetheart guy. Absolute sweetheart. Very unassuming. Um, just a doll baby. Lady Phoenix and I were on his live chat the other day, and yeah, isn't he a sweetheart? And he's just such a kind and gentle human being. And then he's got another yeah, he's awesome. So he has wonderful kitties, that is for sure. He loves his cats. And his sets are great too. And I was noticing like it's all green and purple and orange, which is so funny because, green and oranges and stuff. It seems like we on the spectrum love green and purple and orange, the secondary colors. Hand wash in sink or delicate hang to dry. Yeah. Yeah, I love him. Yeah, go ahead. You can ask questions. I mean, go right ahead, honey. I'm almost 54. Right? In August, I will be 54 years old. You don't like orange, but you like purple and you like Aqua. Gigi's a Sagittarius. They like aquamarine. Hi, Ramisa Shabnam. Hi. Yeah. So I study these NDEs, right? I watch these videos about near-death experiences. And I don't know that I've had a near-death experience, but I've been there. And so it's so validating hearing other people talk about things that they literally couldn't know unless they were there. Um, but now there's so much information out there that I think it's getting to the point where people could fake it because there's so much information out there. They could just regurgitate that and be like, yeah, I was there. There's certain things, if you've been out of body, you can't know unless you've been out of body. There's certain things you can't know about being over there unless you've been over there. And these are things that I specifically don't talk about when I'm doing my videos. If I've mentioned them before or if I'm commenting on those videos, because that to me separates the ones that are authentic from the ones that are not. Oh my gosh, I always cry watching those things. Yeah, jewel tones. Jewel tones are um purple and yeah, all that good stuff. Like this pillow. I love this pillow. I just look, I don't buy things for myself, but I saw this pillow at TJ Maxx and I wanted it. And it was only $9, $10. But I'm like, I mean, $10 here, $10 there, $10 here, right? And not only do you spend a bunch of money, then you have a bunch of junk. But I couldn't stop thinking about this pillow. And that happens. There was actually a blanket and another blanket made by French Connection that I saw and I loved and I didn't buy because I'm like, I don't want to spend a bunch of money. I don't have the money to spend. But this was still there when I went back the next time, which was unheard of. And so I went ahead and I didn't eat that day so I could buy. I'm kidding. I went ahead and just, my pillow is Swedish. What in the world? I love this pillow. And if you've seen my other videos, you might have noticed my cheetah, or maybe this is a leopard, or is this a cheetah? This is a cheetah. And I have a cheetah statue out there that was always in my great grandmother's front window all growing up. So we'd pull up to her place to visit. She lived on a brick road. It was so cool. And then she had a big, big front picture window thing. And she always had this cheetah statue that I've got out there. She painted it, I believe, um, in her front window, and I loved it. And now I have it. And it's lasted for so long. And then my son accidentally knocked it over and it broke. So I had to glue it all back together. But it still looks cool. And Gigi said, fill in the crack part with gold. And I was like, ooh, yeah. So, and it looks like it's down stuffed. And I thought it was. And I got it home and it's really just fiber, like foofy fluff. But it doesn't matter because I don't actually use it. It's just to look pretty on my bed. So this was my big splurge a couple months ago. And now I have it on the bed that I don't even sleep in anymore. So Gigi, if you want to come visit, we have a bedroom for you. Thank you. I know, if I can't stop thinking about something, right? Yeah. I'll show it to you another time. You were on the video with me when I did the tour of my space. I'm sure I probably showed that. It's sitting on the scrolly golden coffee table that I pushed against the wall next to a Japanese thing. Yes. So the art of repairing broken things with gold leaf, and it's very symbolic. It's very symbolic that broken doesn't mean ruined. It means stronger. It means something. It's a thing. I know, right? So the French Connection stuff I saw was also gone. And, I was having a lot of sleep problems for a couple few months, the whole, hot flashes and cold sweats and the whole thing all night. Well, like, starting at about 3 AM, 4 AM in the morning for several hours, and I thought it was maybe my bedding, and so I wanted to buy some different bedding, but it wasn't. I really just needed magnesium. So many times in my life, I've gone through what I would consider, the same exact thing, hot flashes and night sweats, even when I was younger at different times. And once I discovered magnesium, they go away. I'm just like, I don't know what that's about. So, I'm almost 50. Didn't you just ask me that? I'm almost 54. So, I've been watching a lot of videos on menopause because there's now so much more information. And I think Gigi, I even shared one with you literally last night. Um, and I've been going through menopause. I think I've been in perimenopause since I started puberty. Like, and then she did mention, because the interviewer, it was like something about something of an entrepreneur, Diary of an Entrepreneur, I think is his channel. Do you guys watch him? Looks like a mixed kid, very handsome guy. Diaries of an Entrepreneur. He interviews people, and they're like, an hour and a half, 2 hour long interviews. So this was a doctor, and there's a couple of them. There's Mary Claire, I think, is the doctor. I know that's a name of a star, but I think her name is Mary Claire. She's a gynecologist, OB-GYN, I guess, and she's putting a lot of information out there. But this is a different woman. Absolutely delightful female doctor and PhD. She's doing all kinds of studies and 150, scientific journals and everything all about menopause. Now, she did a study, and unfortunately, it wasn't a study done very well because, well, you'll just have to go watch the video. They said they, screened for all types of questions in lifestyle, but then once they realized that some women were having experiencing hot flashes at 40, she's like, "Wait a minute, we need to go back and ask women about their cycles and what they're experiencing." Like, "Why didn't you already ask that?" Okay, well, whatever. And then she's like, "Okay, so we realized that a lot of women were having hot flashes, and that meant this and this and that and the other thing, that they were in perimenopause." Okay, so when I had hot flashes at 19, was I in perimenopause? But then they went away. Oh, when I had hot flashes at 25 and night sweats, was I in perimenopause then? Oh, but they went away. So it's like, what were the night sweats and hot flashes from? They didn't answer that question. They just assumed it was menopause, which isn't good science. Hot flashes are from other things. Not a grandma yet. I was 38. Okay. Okay. 15 as a dad, 38 as a grandpa. Oh, really? So, Diary of a CEO. Oh, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I love you. Oh, interesting. So, okay. So the doctor that just did the Diary of a CEO, she did mention, because he's like, "How early? What's the earliest you've seen menopause start or perimenopause?" And she says in the 40s, unless there's a condition called doobie 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 doo. And so that's what I need to look into, because doobie 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 doo might be exactly what my problem is. And then I was watching Dr. Berg. Dr. Berg is really he's do you know about Dr. Berg? So he branched out at some point or another, as far as I'm concerned, started talking about stuff he has no business talking about. Just because you're a doctor doesn't mean you know everything. So he's like, this is the cause of PMDD. This is the cause of autism. This is the cause of ADD. Okay. So I was watching his thing on PMDD, and he's basically just saying, um, if you quit believing you have PMDD, then you'll quit having it. I was like, read between the lines, mother. Not mother, but mother. And then he's like, oh, autism is because blah, 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 blah. And basically, what it comes down to is MTHFR. Okay. So, but my question is this: is MTHFR, are we broken, or are we just a different operating system? Like, if you try to compare an Apple product to like a Windows operating system to the OS, Mac Apple operating system, and you're like, okay, Windows is how it's supposed to be, and Mac is somehow deformed. Somehow it's a disability. It doesn't behave like Windows, so it's broken. No. Um, those who use Mac prefer it because for how it behaves and what it does. It's a different operating system. And that's how I look at being on the autistic spectrum. It's a different operating system. And maybe you could say it for neurodivergence across the board. And I saw a woman the other day who's ADHD. And she's like, look, this doesn't bother me. This is just how I get things done. It's my operating system. And I'm like, hello, I've been saying that. Yeah, we just have to stop trying to fit into the world the way it is and make the world, find where the world fits into us. And on the live chat with Mike the other day, it was like so many of us have interest in Asian countries like Japan. And when I've researched Japan extensively, it's very much the type of neurodivergent or autistic society we would prefer. People aren't making a bunch of eye contact with each other and smiling and saying hi to everybody. And they're kind of just going about their business quietly. People don't walk down the street eating and talking loud. They sit, they eat, they throw their food away, they walk around quietly. Nobody talks or even whispers on the rails. It's just a very different, it's very quiet in Japan. There's not a bunch of people road raging and honking their horns and yelling. Very, very different. And it seems like people on the spectrum really appreciate that stuff. Yes. So MTHFR is genetic. Now, here's the thing. When it came to Asperger's, this might be some old information because now it's been almost 10 years since my diagnosis when I was really looking into it. And Asperger's has a much higher prevalence in the Ashkenazi Jewish bloodline, genetic line. So when you look at, for example, look at entertainers, I'm going to go way back. Woody Allen, Jerry Lewis, Barbra Streisand, right? Those kinds of performers, comedians out there. That is the quintessential, stereotypical Jewish Ashkenazi person. And I was accidentally married to a guy briefly. And anytime he would meet a Jewish person, he didn't know they were Jewish. I did, I can tell. Anytime he'd meet someone, we'd go away, he'd be like, they were weird. They were really weird. Yeah, they're Jewish. Yeah, they're Jewish. And that is the spectrum that I'm familiar with. That's the autistic type of Asperger brain, right? No, my husband isn't Jewish. He's a Norse god. So I want to go back to what I was saying earlier about Murphy Brown and yeah. So our whole maternal line, Ashkenazi Jewish females, and you can trace our bloodline back to probably Peru. No, not Peru. What was it? Not Peruvian, but Persian, which is modern day Iran. And then you trace that back to the Basque region. The Basque region, people migrated up through Iran and very much farther up north, and they finally settled in the area of Belarus, Ukraine, Russia, that whole area. Those are where you're going to find a high concentration of Ashkenazi Jews, and of those who migrated up from the Basque region, then of course that the Basque region has a much higher occurrence of O negative people. Yeah, it's right there on the border. And it's up there, you've got to cross the Pyrenees Mountains, which is really, really hard. So then you had this they think that the Basque region might be one of the groups of Atlanteans who survived, and they landed there in the Basque region. And because it's so hard to get to, they were very, very protected and isolated. But women with O negative blood will reject any pregnancy that's not O negative. So I imagine there's a lot of, and were a lot of miscarriages happening. And then all the babies that were born were going to be O negative. Or they would have been miscarried by the O negative mother. And so whatever females weren't O negative were able to have whatever kind of blood type baby they were having. But that would be the most obvious reason as to why the occurrence of O negative blood still to this day is very, very high in the Basque region. So that's why I was very interested in learning about the Basque region, being O negative myself. And what does it mean, if it means anything at all? And then I was able to trace that group up to where my ancestors are from. And that is why Gigi would say we have a totally maternal Jewish lineage, MTHFR. You know, the women in our family are super brilliant, but completely dysfunctional in society. We're really, really good at masking. Very, very good at masking. That's why, like, when you see my long form videos, I sound just like a news anchor. And I was thinking about this, like, how do I've never been trained as a news anchor. Okay. But when I was a little girl, Gigi, you'll remember this, I made a news anchor desk and I wrote up some news. And not only did I used to do news anchor stuff for my family, like, okay, I'm going to do the news now. And I'd bring my little news anchor desk in front of the TV so they couldn't watch TV. And I would deliver the news. Well, I was also, in my 6th grade class, we did a news production. We went over to the Burnham building and they had a little TV, like it probably was the public access station in our town. So we went over there and did a literal news broadcast, and I was the anchor. Very natural for me. Yep. Commercials. I don't remember doing commercials. Yep, that was my thing. So I learned to mask. I'm like, these are just things I'm literally learning about myself from doing these YouTube videos. Oh, my battery's going to die soon. I've got 10% left. So, I realized that being on stage, being in dance class and doing my little recitals from a very young age of 3 that was one of my masks that I learned. Like, oh, okay, this is acceptable for me to behave this way. And that's what I took into the world, even though, like, I'm not on stage anymore, now I'm in the grocery store. Well, I didn't differentiate, like, this is how I'm getting positive feedback about my behavior, is, like, dance recitals. And I used to do Mom, remember when, like, Gilbert and we would do, like, little dance recitals in the living room, and everybody would laugh and laugh. I mean, I loved that. That was positive feedback for me, so I learned that, the performance mask, but then also the newscaster mask. So, um, being that I wasn't diagnosed till 45, like, this is am I masking or is this really who I am? I don't know. You you give then in Jewish? What does that mean? Does that mean you speak Hebrew? Um, yeah, see, Nissi speaks Swedish better than English, I guess. But we don't speak Swedish, but, I can re-release this video with Swedish subtitles, I bet. I'm hungry too. Whose battery is dying and who's hungry? Raise your hand. I bet you Lady Phoenix is hungry. She's probably eating right now. And I bet you Gigi, you just said your battery's dying, so I just don't here's the problem. I don't have any food in my house right now. I mean, I do, but I don't. Like, the boys have food. Are you leaving? Okay, are you a Nazi? Good for you. Um, Ashkenazi, not Nazi. It's weird that Nazi is at the end of Ashka, isn't it? I think that I've always thought that was really suspect. I have no idea what I was just saying because I'm hungry. Oh, so I'm out of food because I can't remember what I eat. And I keep putting off going to the grocery store because I literally can't remember what I eat. I have to walk around this room like, "Oh, that looks familiar. Oh, I eat this." It's like, have you and I refer to this movie a lot, 50 First Dates. It's Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler. I love Happy Madison movies. Love Happy Madison. I love comedy. It's my favorite. Um, so she has I don't wanna ruin it for you, so if you wanna watch 50 First Dates and not have it ruined for you, then don't listen. So, it's Adam Sandler basically falls in love with this girl, and she can't remember anything except for, like, that day. As she goes to sleep and it wipes her memory completely, um, back to, like, the day of her accident. She thinks it's that day, but she doesn't remember the accident. So her family, her dad and her brother, um her dad and her brother recreate the same day for her day after day after day after day after day, year after year after year. And then this guy comes along and he's foiling their plans and ruining things. And it's a really cute movie. Oh, you've seen it? I love that movie. So there's aspects that I can really relate to, though, you know? And that's how I feel like when I don't know what to eat and I have to walk through the grocery store until I'm like, oh, that looks familiar. That looks familiar. That looks familiar. Ugh. And it comes down to forming habits. And I did just do a video, and like I was saying earlier, it's not a very well produced video. It's just me reading like over the top of my glasses. And some other creators might not appreciate it, but it's like no one's doing the videos about these topics. No one's doing videos about literal non habituation. No one's doing videos about predatory antisocials targeting autistics. So I really want to get them out. I don't need them to look perfect, and I hope you guys don't either. As I get better and set up my professional microphone and set up my professional this and that, which I have, I've produced videos using all that stuff, but I don't do it on a regular basis because it's just too many steps. Too many steps. So once I get into a little bit more of a flow, then I'll reproduce those videos with better lighting and the whole deal. But I just don't think people require that. The information is important enough for you to overlook some of the production quality issues, right? And then you'll see in my long form videos, I turn into a newscaster. Well, exactly. And that's also why we're so protective of our routines. Once I finally got in a routine of walking outside in the morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, I was like, okay, now this is it. I'm always going to walk at 8 o'clock in the morning. But then the time changes, and then the weather gets hotter, and it's way, way hotter in the mornings than it was. And then this, and then that, and then this, and then that, and da 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 da. I did walk yesterday, and it's so dry here that it's not that bad, and there's still a lot of shade, so I just found the shade. I went on a different path, and I found the shade, and I did go around twice, and it was all good, and I walked faster because I wanted to get it done faster, so all good. But yeah, that's why we get so protective of our routines, and I'll tell you a story about Gigi, about Gail Pett, my mama. Perfect example of routine and being protective of and having it messed up. So Gigi used to have an Etsy store, and it was doing really well. She was doing really good, right? Total routine, had her space set up, had her routine going. And then a friend of hers came to visit for a week. There goes the routine, right? I mean, that's all it takes. How many of us are going to be like to our friend, I know you're visiting, but this is the time of day where I need to get my thing done. So we're going to need to play it by ear. I'll let you know when I'm available. And so we just drop our routines to accommodate other people. And then our routine is gone. Feed the cat, make the coffee, put out cooler of cold water and snacks for our delivery people. Right. Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get it. And I'll be honest with you guys. I used to get really mad at my mom for this kind of stuff. But now I get it. Don't get mad at your moms, because eventually you'll turn out just like them. And you'll feel really bad that you judge them for the same stuff you're doing. Sorry, mom. Yep. I mean, after you've lived enough life and been through enough trauma and had the literal or virtual crap beat out of you in one way, shape, or form, you just kind of want to time blindness. Yep. Yep. I did a whole what's it called? Hyperfixation. Yeah, I went on and I was telling Lady Phoenix, because we text, and I'm like, oh my God, I just got stuck doing this thing. I was obsessed. She's like, oh, that's called hyperfixation. See, I don't even know these terms because I'm so new to this diagnose thingy majiggy. And I've always done it. I just didn't know what it was called. And I didn't know how it was really negatively impacting me. But when I go hyperfixation on something, it messes up my sleep schedule. And then that messes up my routine. I mean, it's a spiral. At night, clean litter box, good for you. Bring in coolers, take out garbage. Yep. And see, there are days, like when I get all premenstrual dysphoric problems, there's days when I have to tell the kids to take the dogs out. And you might think, well, why don't you ask them to do that anyway? Well, because I like it. I love my dogs and they're my dogs, right? But sometimes I literally just can't do it. I have 4% left. I appreciate you guys being on so much. Isabella, thanks for being here. I'm going to come check out your channel. And again, you guys, Not here in the chat, but in the comments of the video. If you're able to go over to the comments of the video, put in your information there. Oh, PMDD sucks raw ostrich eggs. It's much better to stay hydrated. That is the main key. Stay hydrated with electrolytes. It doesn't make it go away. Oh no. Okay, I will definitely reach out to her. I know that. And here's the thing. If she's suicidal, it means that if she tries, she'll fail. She'll fail a couple times. And then she realizes that without a plan, she's going to fail. And then she'll come up with a plan and then she won't fail. So, yeah, put that down there. Is she public about the fact that she's suicidal? Yikes. Well, that's really scary. Let's get her some help. Yeah, you can't talk someone out of it. That's the thing. I mean, good for you. But when it comes back around, see what I found is I became suicidal and then I had to realize that. And then I reached out for help, even calling a suicide hotline. And because I didn't have a plan, that's how they determine whether you're serious or not. Because I didn't have a plan, she's like, well, I need to go take up another call. And I tried a couple different things. They didn't work. And then I realized, not only did I realize I needed a plan, I actually came up with an idea for a movie about it called The Box or Kit, where this woman realized she had to come up with a plan. She made herself a box, a kit with all the things she might need depending on how she wanted to do it, unalive. And then people got wind of this because she was posting and they wanted to buy these from her. So she started selling them. And then the FBI steps in. And this is a movie concept. So if anybody else wants to make it, go ahead, because I'm never going to do it. Hi, Nico. Hi, Nico. Here comes Nico. She's going to screw everything up because she always does. Screw everything up and knock things over and break things. It is a very important issue, isn't it? And it's ridiculous that we can't talk about it. I guess they think that we're going to encourage people to do that. But here's the thing. After I realized that no help was coming, I quit wanting help. But then I had a plan. But I also realized, because it's in the moment and then you snap out of it and you're like, oh, wow, that was crazy. So then I realized I didn't have the luxury of trying to deal with this holistically. It wasn't working. And that's when I went to the doctor and I showed him what I had done to my arm, if you guys know the story. And he was like, oh, you're playing with fire. Like I'm cutting for attention. It's like, no, dude, I'm not playing. I actually was trying to unalive myself and it didn't work, which really made me mad. I mean, for like a day or two. And these times were occurring like 2 days after my period started. I thought I had made it through, right? Well, so once I realized that, okay, so then I got help medically, like pharma meds. It's Prozac is used for PMDD like as needed. So you take it during that time. So it could be half the month, it could be 1 week, it could be 5 days. I did realize it's good to kind of like ramp it up for a few days, even though the first time I took it, it took about half an hour, 45 minutes. Suddenly I was sitting there calm and relaxed without a thought in my mind. And I was like, this is amazing. I love Prozac. I'm going to take it every day. Well, I didn't take it every day because I didn't want to become addicted to it. And even when I quit taking it, I went through literally like 2 months of vertigo. But I only have 2%. It's sad to see such important platform to decide what is able to be discussed, right? So soon, I know, soon enough, I'm going to have like the Reddit chat and everything. I'm pretty sure doctors don't really help. That's the thing. They can once you go to them, but when you have a community, thank you for subbing. I really appreciate that 1v1 me and COD. What does that mean? So information, first of all, like she needs to know to hydrate with electrolytes. That helps so much. And then she needs to know a couple of other things. And of course, we're not doctors and we can't prescribe things that will save her, but there are things I learned that could help her. I don't take Prozac. I just said I don't take Prozac. Didn't I? When I quit taking it, I got vertigo for premenstrual dysphoric disorder, PMDD. So women that seem like they're crazy or bipolar might really just have problems with their periods. Okay. 1v1 me and what's COD? One versus one? Huh. Okay. Oh God, I literally have 1%. So I'm going to turn this off so it doesn't just cut off. Thank you guys for being on. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. And oh, okay, Call of Duty. Of course. I should know that because I do have kids. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We do need to give each other advice. We need to advocate for ourselves and learning how to do that. If you want to learn a little bit how I just learned how to advocate for myself, go watch the video about me going to the dentist. The full length one with the treatment plan and everything is on my Patreon because it's embarrassing for me. It's embarrassing. If it's that bad, she definitely should be on meds to get her over this little time frame. That's why I did it. And it did help. It got me, I had to restructure my life and I had to have better people around me. It was the toxicity that I was allowing around me. And to avoid toxicity, watch my video on autism versus predators, autistics versus predators. We need to have, um, we need to have ways to recognize how to have healthy relationships and stay out of toxic ones where we're being treated badly. Okay, I got to go. 1%. I'll see you guys. Thanks so much. Please subscribe, watch the videos, share them, and all that good stuff. If you have any ideas for videos you want me to make, let me know. Lady Phoenix is more into the ADHD thing, and I'm more into the autistic thing. So if you want more information or if we're not hitting on something, you have questions, definitely let us know. Bye, everybody.